Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be reacting to Hell's Kitchen, times when it got physical. Now I'm surprised it hasn't got physical on that program a lot more, to be honest with you, because I don't know how you feel about it, but I could not have another grown man standing in my face going nuts at me. I just couldn't do it. In my past I've worked with a few chefs who thought they were a bit better than they were and try to act like that, and it's just not something I can handle. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Also, if you haven't done so already, please hit the subscribe button. I upload at least 2 to 3 times a day, so yeah, let's get into it.
Today we're gonna cover some confrontations that turn physical. So sit back, relax, and without further ado, let's get straight into the content, guys. We're starting things off with an ex-marine turned executive chef who had the most shocking exit in the show's history. When we're talking about physical altercations on the show, it's almost impossible not to mention the infamous Joseph Tinelli. Who can forget this intense moment on the show?
I ain't no I don't give a I ain't no
bitch.
The meme-worthy statement by Tinelli, "I ain't no bitch," took the internet by storm. Well, Tinelli had a cold attitude from the very beginning. While one might assume that he was cocky because of his skills as a chef, he honestly wasn't all that. His high temperament was reflected from day one when Chef Ramsay asked him to taste his signature dish. Take a look at what happened.
This right here is a roasted veal chop. With roasted root vegetables.
Lovely colour on there.
Thank you.
And the vegetables? What a shame the Brussels sprouts are rock hard. Are they supposed to be that crunchy?
No.
A little taste of me, please?
Absolutely. You got a fork?
You can buy that. You're a big boy.
See, in my opinion, that's just a bit disrespectful. Like making it, he's not a dog. You know what I mean? Don't throw him a bone and expect him to eat. Just pass him a fork if you want him to taste it.
I'm not an animal.
There you go.
Things escalated to a whole other level when he tried to fight Chef Ramsay. One way or another, Tinelli was bound to blow up. During the deliberations, when Chef Ramsay asked him to name 2 nominees, Tinelli replied with, "They can speak for themselves."
Who's the first nominee for the men?
They can speak for themselves, but they know who they are.
But, as you may already know, this isn't how the show
Challenge
works.
the system,
Take
mate.
a quick look at what happened next.
I ask the questions, you give the answers.
I ain't here for that. You wanna back it? You wanna talk some shit? Let's go step outside. I ain't here for that, dog. You wanna talk about fighting?
Oh, wow.
You wanna get rough?
Do you think I'm scared?
Wow.
Huh? Look at you.
Yeah, keep
You just blow
fucking
your...
cameras.
Yeah, the cameras.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We can step
I'm
outside.
standing here. I asked you one simple question, and you couldn't answer me. And then you...
He says screw the cameras, but he's got bodyguards and bouncers and stuff there as well. Like, don't worry about the cameras, mate.
want to get all tough and up close and personal. There you go.
Yeah.
Now imagine what would have happened if
They're both wrong. They're both wrong. Like, he's disrespectful for stepping up to old Gordon like that, but Gordon's got no respect for people, in my opinion. From what I've seen, yeah, he's a chef, he's highly talented and stuff, but you can't speak down to people unless you're willing to get called a bitch, really.
if
I
a
ain't no
fight had
bitch.
actually broken out. Tinelli wouldn't have stood a chance. Guess he forgot that the famous chef holds a black belt in karate.
He's actually a pretty tall dude. I bumped into him once. I was doing a job at David Lloyd in Chelsea. David Lloyd's in Chelsea. It's called the Yacht Club or some weird thing like that. I went there to fix a sauna a good few years ago. And while I was walking past the change rooms, old Gordon walked and bumped into me. And I'm pretty tall. I'm 6'2", and yeah, he's a tall dude. Big dude. But...
So the only thing that Tinelli managed to do
picture
with all
doesn't
that
flatter
rage
him,
was
man.
produce a glorious meme of himself. But this story has its own twists. Most fans believe that the whole drama was staged.
Yeah.
This led to a lot of debates over the matter. Some viewers claim that Tinelli was planted to boost the show's ratings. Needless to say, the show's producers slammed these claims immediately. They added that the show could be very stressful and can bring out the worst from its contestants. According to an anonymous source from the set, chefs that are eliminated from the show get a psychological evaluation. Additionally, they're pampered with massages.
Or Gordon should get a psychological evaluation. It may not be fake or staged, but I do think they emphasize things a bit more. They tend to overhype things, and yeah, I don't think it's quite as intense as they make it out to be.
And other services to help them get back into their normal life. Tinelli has the shortest tenure record for any contestant in the history of Hell's Kitchen. While Tinelli had the potential to be a great chef, thanks to his arrogance, he was thrown off his high horse. But this chef, on the other hand, as a surprise entry, the courteous and polite Jean-Philippe makes his way onto our list. Philippe is hands down the most favorite maître d' on Hell's Kitchen, and when he left the show, several fans were upset. From trying to motivate contestants to charming us with his smile, there have been times when Jean-Philippe has even shown his angry side. In the second episode of season 6, Jean-Philippe had a heated argument with Van Hurd. That night, Hurd was working at the tableside station. Any chef who works at that station is bound to coordinate with both the restaurant manager or maître d' and the chefs in the kitchen. However, Hurd was not ready to listen. It all started when Jean-Philippe was trying to help Hurd with his table, but instead of just listening to him, Hurd did this.
What is going on with these two?
This led to an argument between the two, and this is what Chef Ramsay did.
What is going on? I'm tired of both of you. Calm down. And I need one shrimp special urgently, but keep it cool in front of these customers, and you keep it cool. Is that clear?
A little later, Hurd made a dumb mistake. He went to the red table instead of the blue one. Hurd clearly missed the red plates on the table. When Jean-Philippe raised the
those massive red plates, I mean, yeah, they're easy to miss.
issue about Hurd, Chef Ramsay said,
How y'all doing tonight?
Chef is going to the wrong table.
Oh no. Van! Come here! That's the red table. You're running the blue. Hey, Bozo, give me
The plates don't
one
give it away,
scampi
mate.
special on the right table. Yes, chef.
and then the most hilarious thing happens.
What's the matter between you two?
There's a language barrier there.
What do you mean there's a language barrier? He's speaking English, you dick.
I know, but he's from Texas.
He's from Texas, mate.
However, the situation between the two intensified. Hurd, because of his clumsiness, dropped both of his pans and rushed into the kitchen to get a fresh one. Seeing that, Jean-Philippe said,
Come on, we're gonna try that again. I'm sorry. I gotta go get a pan, okay? I will be right back.
Get in trouble.
He's already in trouble.
Behind.
Don't run in the restaurant, please.
Jean-Philippe, better stop trying to tell me what to do. I know that.
Yeah,
I'm going
Texas
to
boys
explode,
gonna
my
whip
friend.
you, boy.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Before things got even crazier, Chef Ramsay intervened and did this.
Hey, both of you, come here. Both of you, come here. Now! What is going
He's
on?
got no respect
Don't
whatsoever.
shout! We're in front of the customers now!
I'm sorry, chef.
He's not respecting this dining room, chef.
Calm down, listen to him, and you pay a little bit of respect. And if you do your job, and you do your job, we'll come together. Because right now, you're turning the whole place upside down.
Chef Ramsay somehow managed to get
He wants
Philippe
to talk
and Hurd
about
to calm
respect,
down,
doesn't he?
but this contestant from New Jersey had a mouth that was bigger than her talent. Throughout season 15, Jackie Fuchs, thanks to her foul mouth, had a rivalry with almost everyone.
thought her
There was
second
no
name
doubt
said
that her
something
teammates
else.
wanted her booted from the
Jessie.
competition.
I
In the
bet she
10th
does.
episode, the red team was having an awful night. With one mistake following the other, Chef Ramsay was done and kicked them.
That's something that annoys me when I see these cooking programs, when they check your steak or something and they just prodding it. Like, I know they got to touch it and prepare your food. It's just, it's pretty gross to see. Like, oh, yeah.
out of the kitchen.
Pinch it,
Seeing
give it a
this, the blue team
bite.
pulled up their socks, bounced back, and gave it their best. Surprisingly, despite winning the challenge, Joe Ritchie from the blue team was eliminated for his inconsistent performances. Kristen Barone was shocked because she was expecting Fuchs to be thrown out. Back at the dorms, Fuchs, of course, couldn't resist mocking Barone, and this is what she said.
Why are you voting for me?
Who do you want me to vote for?
Them two, they up service and made us lose. I kill it in service every goddamn time.
When you are in service, you shine as a cook. Challenges is where you shine as a chef. We cannot carry you through challenges, bro.
I've only been cooking for 3 months.
Listening to
What
that,
are you doing
this is
now?
how Barone replied.
Wait a minute, what? Jackie's only been cooking for 3 months. Everyone else has been cooking forever. We deserve this, and obviously Jackie doesn't. But that means you're not ready for BLT. I got
I'm ready for
I got
BLT.
7 years on you and 6 months.
Barone even expressed how angry she was with Fuchs and how disgusted she was with her for not being humble. Take a look at what happened next.
Kristen, give me your lighter.
No.
Sometimes it's not the amount of time you spend doing something. I mean, I've met some really skilled people who've just started. You know, those kind of people. I'm sure everyone went to school with one. The person who didn't study, didn't do anything, but always got A's. There's always going to be those kind of people. So I sometimes think experience doesn't matter, but experience teaches you other things, like how to cope with other things. If you're new at doing something, you might not be able to cope with some of the problems that come up that experience teaches you to deal with. So
Give me your lighter.
Talk like you touch my lighter, I will punch you in the face.
Punch me in the
Give me
face.
my lighter, Jackie.
Punch me in the face.
Jackie, give
Yeah,
me
I think you'll get
Punch me in
some,
the
lady.
face.
Blondie,
Either
sit
light a
down.
cigarette, give me my lighter.
Oh, Jackie's gonna beat you. There's your
However,
lighter.
Fuchs wasn't done, and her childish behavior led to a huge argument. Fuchs once again taunted Barone to hit her. Take a look at what she did
I love
next.
drama.
Put your hands up.
Out of my
Put your
face.
hands on me.
That stinks.
Guys,
That's
put your hands
true.
up.
Done. Done.
Put your hands
Get
on
the
me.
out of my face.
Guys, put your hands
Get out
on
of
me.
my face.
Out of my face.
Get these
Barone
cigarette
could have
butts out
certainly
my
hit her for
bra.
what she did, but instead, this is how she reacted.
Like, I'm so over her causing a big scene. Like, I don't know
Take a
who
stupid hat
the you
off.
are, what garbage can that you got dragged out of, but what the is wrong with you?
And that's why Barone went ahead to the finals, while Fuchs didn't even make it to the Black Jackets phase. While this cat fight could have gotten a lot worse, nothing could prepare you for this discussion from season 12 that led to a huge brawl. As you might expect, nobody likes to go up for elimination, as it's evident that one of them is going to be sent home. But before that even happens, the team is forced to zero in on their weakest link. While most of these discussions almost always lead to arguments, this particular one turned out to be extreme. In the third episode of season 12, the red team and blue teams had an awful service. It was so awful that both teams were kicked out of the kitchen and were named joint losers. As both teams discussed who should be sent up for elimination, things went in a different direction for the blue team. Jason Zapoltis lost his cool. So how exactly did this all start? Things were going alright when the team considered Michael DeMarco as their first nominee. However, when Michael Gabriel suggested that Chris Eversole be the next nominee, this is what Eversole said.
I know I could have done better, but Mike, he's poison for the team. Keep DeMarco, keep me, but get Mike out of here.
Eversole even requested that the team consider Mike Aresta over their other choices since he did nothing that night.
If I'm getting all the elements composed, you're
Come on,
seasoning
farts already.
fish at this point, and that's all you did for me.
It's not exactly like Eversole was lying or throwing Aresta under the bus. His accusation was absolutely right. Of course, Aresta didn't like that, so he gave his opinion.
Chris wanted to fucking be the first guy to leave.
Since that didn't go down so well, a huge argument broke out.
You know, next time one person just works and the other doesn't, you idiot.
If you don't see me do something, you're my man. You're listening to every order being called out, and you're watching what my hands are doing.
All right, the guy that's
Not a
cooking,
brawl so far, is it?
you're responsible. Yeah. But if he's saying that he didn't do it right, you're his backbone. He's been sabotaging us, dude. He sucks so bad.
The situation got far worse when Zapoltis said this to Aresta.
Go back to the grocery store. I go back to the grocery store and keep working there, bitch.
What followed was a war of words between Zapoltis and Aresta.
Oh, look at you're better than me, you motherfucking piece of shit. Give a fuck. Seriously, fuck you.
Before things got ugly, Scott Cummings and Anton Testino intervened and things finally cooled off.
No!
I can't deal with that screaming stuff in my face, man.
You'll be dead before you even start your little brain. Come on, he's not worth it. He doesn't. He works in the I know exactly. Dude, you can talk all the shit you want, bro.
Guys, listen.
After all that, Simone Hammond volunteered to be eliminated. Before leaving, she said,
I'm normally really energetic and lively, and since I have been feeling well, I think I've come across as very soft and not someone who can fight. And even the biggest, most wonderful things sometimes don't turn out to be the best for you.
That was an easy one. Wish granted. While that argument was absolutely unnecessary and a colossal waste of energy, this contestant from Florida was insufferable in not one, but 2 seasons. Robin Ahmadavar's rivalry and behavior with everyone in seasons 10 and 17 was insufferable. But honestly, her behavior in season 10 stooped down to a whole other level. She first fought with the red team and then picked a fight with almost everyone in the blue team. While there are too many arguments to bring up, there was one that got really intense. In the 10th episode of the 10th season, the red team was kicked out of the kitchen because of their continuous mistakes. Ahmadavar's relationship with Kimmy Willis was already sour, and that night both of them were arguing during the service as well. Back at the dorms, instead of figuring out what went wrong, Ahmadavar started complaining about Willis for screwing up that night.
The 2 fish, was told 5 minutes, so I fired them.
Fish. Like 3 of these arguments have been about fish.
Off on the counts. I am so
livid
right now. Oh my God, all hell is gonna break loose.
Seeing the ridiculous behavior, Christina Wilson did this.
Over it, dude. I'm over it. I'm so tired of her bitching. It's just too much. It literally drives me nuts.
A huge argument broke out between Ahmadavar and Willis when Willis tried to defend herself.
Because when Kimmy works in the station, she doesn't communicate.
So you throwing me on the bus?
I'm not throwing you on the bus.
Tell you what I heard. Come on.
I'll tell you exactly what I heard.
Tell me then. Come on.
Step the back.
Bitch, I ain't stepping nowhere.
You think I'm scared
She
of you?
ain't gonna
I'm not
do
scared
it.
of you. You're throwing me under the bus. Cool, bitch.
It's true. You called me a bitch today, and you want me to keep my mouth shut?
That's when Ahmadavar put the blame on Wilson. Things were getting crazy, and finally when the team discussed who should be up for elimination, Willis suggested Ahmadavar. Take a look at what happened next.
I'll just sit there
How
and
many of my
laugh.
steaks came back tonight?
Call was off. All
No,
your
my call wasn't. Your ears need to be cleaned out, bitch.
watch you.
Thanks to
look at the
Wilson and
size
Barbie Marshall's
difference.
timely intervention, the argument was put to rest. But that was only for a moment. During the deliberations, when Ahmadavar was named as the second nominee, it led to another round of arguments right in front of Chef Ramsay's face.
Our second nominee chef is Robin, because she pretty much lied to you and told you that she cooked the fish for 3 minutes and she cooked it for 7.
I didn't lie to you, Chef, when I said I took the fish out at 3 minutes. The fish was cooked 7 minutes prior, so miscommunication on what I said, but I did not lie to you.
Take a look at why the famous chef transferred Ahmadavar to the blue team.
Why do you think you should stay in Hell's Kitchen?
I feel like I should stay in Hell's Kitchen because I have more fight in me. I have not given up. I'm here, but I want to be here. I do have standards, but I drop off my standards sometimes because I'm trying to save someone else besides myself. This is the kind of that goes on, Chef. This is why I hate working on the red team. I prefer to be on the blue team.
They're gonna kick your ass?
No, they won't, because they respect me, because I come
we
here
don't want
with
it.
250%.
Despite the blue team's displeasure, Ahmadavar got away with her sour attitude and finished things off in 6th place. But in Hell's Kitchen, it's not just the contestants who have attitude issues. This customer from season 1 attacked Jean-Philippe. Whether you realize it or not, restaurants are filled.
These customers are paid, man. Paid. They're like, I've seen some of the shows where they get so shit-faced drunk, and these guys are paid. They're here for a free meal.
With high amounts of drama. But most of the time, all the drama is within the boundaries of the kitchen. However, sometimes the wait times are way too long and customers begin to show their frustration. Really, the only people who face the complaints are the ones at the front of house, and in this case, we're referring to Jean-Philippe. In the second episode of season 1, during the dinner service, both teams put up an awful service. They were slow, were making mistakes, lacked communication, and weren't working together. There was absolutely no coordination. Since hardly any food was being sent out, customers were getting impatient. In the middle of the service, one of the customers decided to handle the situation by themselves, and as expected, it didn't go very well. Just take a look at what happened.
They ordered their own pizza. What the? That's, you see what I mean? It's so disrespectful. Like, that's out of pocket shit, man.
We've been waiting for food for about 2 hours and 45 minutes now. And we were curious about that.
Yeah, well, you're a clever girl, aren't you? It's a new restaurant. Yeah, it's been a tough night.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yes. Right. Anything else? So, why don't you... Asparagus, please.
That's it.
Meanwhile, another customer from the same table decided to take matters into his own hands. Seeing that, Jean-Philippe immediately tried to handle the arrogant customers. But this is what happened.
You can't.
What? Don't tell me I can't.
I'm seriously.
Look, I want some food, man.
You can't. By law. I wish your education could be as good as your voice. Huh?
When the customer wasn't backing down and was boasting about his doctorate, this is what Jean-Philippe said.
I have a doctorate in music from the University of Southern California. Do you have a doctorate?
I do have an education.
What followed next is unbelievable. Take a look at this.
Then you are less educated than me, so don't get in my face.
The customers were then kicked out of the restaurant by the crew.
Oh, anyway, guys, that was old Gordon Ramsay. I'm not a big fan of his. I mean, we used to watch it on TV when it was the only thing on, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of Gordon Ramsay anymore. I think he's got a bit too big for his boots, and he talks about respect, and he just doesn't respect anybody. Yes, he's a talented chef, but I'm a talented shit talker. I don't disrespect people just because I'm good at something. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will see you again later. Peace.